30 days ago, I moved out of my childhood home to college for the first time. And since then, I've broken my one golden rule: follow a budget. Over these past 30 days, a lot of things have been up in the air. I haven't been sure how much I will need to spend on groceries or how much my income will be. I've been trying to land a job while trying to keep my expenses as low as I can. But because I have not had a set budget, I have spent far more than I meant to. So let's review my spending in the last 30 days from September 8th to October 7th. I've compiled all of my expenses into 7 categories: groceries, campus printing, DI, Venmo, vending machines, Apple Cash, and pizza. For groceries, I spent $23, campus printing 5 cents, at DI I spent $22, I Venmoed people $16, I spent $2 at a vending machine getting chocolate milk, I spent $6.88 on Apple Cash, and honestly I don't even remember what that expense was, and I spent $23 on pizza, for a total of $84.78 spent in the last month. Now let's take a look at my income sources. About 2 weeks ago, I did manage to get a janitorial cleaning job for $10.08 an hour. I was paid for the first 3 days, I believe, and so my paycheck was $71.88. About a week after I moved up here, I did manage to sell a microphone on eBay for $17.76. So in total I earned $89.64. Now, if we subtract my income compared to my dollar amount that I spent, I have $4.86 remaining. This is far too close for what I'm comfortable with. Moving forward, I want to make sure I have much more of a margin before I run out of money. Let's take a look at if I had tightened down my spending, what it should have been. For groceries, I did buy a few snacks, so I could have gotten it down to $17. Campus printing, I had to print a paper, so there was nothing about that I could do. For DI, I bought a little PC for $10. It was a good deal, and I might try to sell it, but ultimately I didn't need it, so I shouldn't have bought it. For Venmo, I'm allowing myself the $3 charge because that was an activity I did with my roommates. Vending machine, I could have cut that out. Apple Cash, I could have cut that out because I don't even remember what I spent that money on. And for pizza, I am allowing myself about 1 pizza. So in total, what I should have spent was $34.53. If we subtract my total income by what I should have spent, I would have had $55.11 left over. That's $50.25 of unneeded expense. So moving forward, I want to make sure that I have a rock solid plan that I can follow through with. So it's time I finally made a budget for myself. I'll be walking you through my expenses and my income to give you a better idea of what budget might potentially work for you. If you want to go along and plan out a budget with me, go grab a pen and paper. First, let's go over some important costs that a lot of people have. Many people have to pay for housing, food, transportation, education, healthcare products, and then we'll go over to the optional expenses. These include things like hobbies, savings, eating out, travel, all stuff you want to be able to do. Now, if you're following along, go ahead and circle everything that you need to be paying for, or if there's something you need to add, of course, add that to the list and circle that. So as I'm going through and putting a dollar amount to everything that will cost me money, go ahead and follow along. So for housing, I spend $950 a semester. For food, I have not planned out a budget yet, so I do need to figure out how much I'm spending on for food. My tuition per semester is like $2,300 per semester. And then healthcare products, considering these things like toiletries, like toothbrushes, toilet paper, that kind of stuff. So relatively low, and I'm not sure how much I spend on those per semester. All right, and then we have optional. I want to be able to put money into my savings. I want to be able to eat out occasionally, and then I want some money for hobbies. So we'll go ahead and group these two together because it's surplus spending. Now we need to figure out what my income looks like so I can figure out how much I can spend. So I worked 15 hours a week at a rate of $10.08. So monthly, I'm working 60 hours. Calculate that we're paying 15% taxes. From the job, we have a take home of about $512 after taxes. But I did get scholarships, and that covers my tuition and half of my rent. So I'm left with $500 to pay for rent. So one semester is 3 months. And if we divide what I need to cover in rent by 3 months, that's $166 per month for rent. So every month I have to put that much aside. Let's see what we have after we pay rent. So then we're left with $346. Let's take another look at our expenses. So our housing is covered. Education is covered. Now we need to figure out what food costs is looking like for me. And this will look different for everybody. So it's important to figure out what kind of foods you're into and narrow down the costs. And I'll go do that right now. After going through my food, I estimate that I can spend $65 on groceries per month. So we'll go ahead and add that, 65. We're left with $281 each semester. And then for toiletries, we'll estimate $15 per month, $266 left over in extra cash. So what I've been doing lately for extra spending since I got my job is I've been giving myself $20 a paycheck. So that's $40 a month. So fun spending, $40 a month. And that's left us with $226 for savings. So over the course of this semester, I should be able to save $678. And then I'll be up here for 2 semesters. So while I'm going to college and working, I'll be able to save $1,300. And that's just working 15 hours a week. And there we have it. So we just went through all of my expenses and we found out that I spent about $286 per month, leaving me being able to save $220. That's pretty much half of my income. If you followed along, let me know what your budget plan is down below. How much money you're going to be able to start saving. If you found anything in this video useful and want to support us, our Patreon is down in the description below. But any support is much appreciated. So go ahead and like and subscribe and let us know what we should do next.